Hi everyone, my name is Joyce Mbaya. I'm a speaker and a coach. I'm also the founder and author of GIBÉBÉ. I'm very excited today to have the opportunity to share with you on a topic that is probably causing a bit of controversy, and it seems to be the number one question that I'm being asked as a coach, by most people, which is how can I make the choice between making money and following my dreams? I mean, this question has come up so much that we felt that it's important that we bring out this topic as something that we can all tackle together and get to learn more about it. But before I do that, I want to start by introducing GIBÉBÉ. GIBÉBÉ is a framework that I founded, and GIBÉBÉ actually stands for Imagine, Believe, Become. GI comes from Imagine, BE from Believe, and BE from Become. And when the three words come together, they form GIBÉBÉ. GIBÉBÉ with a J is a Swahili word, JIBEBE. That means to uplift yourself, and that is the core essence of what GIBÉBÉ is about. It's about empowerment and uplifting yourself. This is also the title of my first book, which I was very excited, very humbled to launch this past December. And it covers this entire framework, which is a three-step process to self-actualization. My goal is really to help you realize and unleash your greatest potential so that you can achieve your dreams, realize your dreams, achieve your goals. That's what I live for every day. That's what I feel like I've been placed on this earth to do. That's my purpose, my passion, and just to have the opportunity to share with you and empower you keeps me going every day. So let's quickly get into this big question that all of us are asking. That is, if you're really passionate about what you do, but it's not going to make you a lot of money, should you still do it? This is a tough one, I'm telling you, and that's why I'm saying that this is a question that I get asked a lot, and it really motivated me to work on this video series and really see how we can tackle this issue together and learn from one another. When you're thinking about making money and following your dreams, the dilemma, there are 5 key areas that tend to come up. Amongst a variety of questions, in all kinds of forms, but most of them tend to fall into one of 5 key areas, and that's what I want to touch on right now. Look at these areas and see where you might fall with this dilemma. Number one, great job, no passion for it. I meet people who, they have it made. They are managers in top organizations, they're doing well, earning fantastic salaries. Some of them even have successful businesses. They seem to be doing quite well, but they say that they have no passion for what they do. Isn't that amazing? Every day they go to work and there's just no heart, and they can't see themselves doing what they do for another 20 years. They're very frustrated. They feel that there's more, and they just don't know where to start. And it's even tougher when you're at that level of success to be able to go back and make different decisions. The second category of people are people who feel like they're not on a path to success. They just say, Joyce, I'm doing a lot of things. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm trying to put my best foot forward. But with all these things that I'm doing, I'm not sure that this is my path to success. Number three, oh my gosh, let me tell you, I think most of us fall into this category. I can't tell you how many people I meet who say they have a brilliant business idea, but guess what? No plan. Some people can give Bill Gates competition, eh? You find that these ideas are in notebooks, they're in our dreams, they're burning us up. You keep talking about it with your friends, but what happens? There's no execution. You just don't seem to be able to move from the point where this is an idea to the point where it starts to become a reality, something that can actually create an impact and make a difference in your life. Number four, I meet people who say, Joyce, I'm not using my talents or my strengths. Probably you might know what your talents are. And when you look around at the environment you're in at the moment, you're not really utilizing those talents or those strengths. Therefore, you know that your chances of success have been minimalized. You have talents, you have strengths, things that make you naturally good and naturally step ahead of others. But unfortunately, you're not utilizing them. Number five, afraid to look back and have regrets. There's a phrase, we have in Nairobi in Kenya. It's called ish ish. Ish ish essentially means 50-50, half and half. This is called playing in the safe zone. You're trying not to make any dramatic or risky decisions. You're really just trying to cruise by, just do what's safe. And this is where you're afraid to look back and have regrets. Because you know that making these safe decisions could get you by for now, but ultimately later you might question whether you should have taken more risks. You should have been a bit more bold in making choices that can actually give you a more empowered and more happy life. So in looking at all these dilemmas, the question then becomes, okay, how do we address this challenging dilemma? how do we address this issue, making money versus following dreams? How do we know what we're supposed to do? Well, I want to look at 4 key strategies. These strategies fall within the first pillar of GIBÉBÉ, which is to imagine your success path. This is really the foundational pillar, the beginning, where we start to set off on the path to success. And we must have the right foundation to be able to see through the other strategies that can help us to succeed. So these strategies are also based on my experiences. I had a very successful corporate job. I was on the path to making it in the corporate life, and then I realized that that was not the path for me. I had this passion and purpose to pursue GIBÉBÉ. I had a passion to write my book, and ultimately I left my job to follow this passion. That was a very, very difficult decision to make, and that decision might not be what everyone should do. That might not be the direction you should take. How can you tell what the right decision is and make sure that you don't make decisions that lead you down the wrong path? So in looking at this dilemma, we're looking at 4 key strategies, which are: number 1, you maximize on the gray area; number 2, the power of prototypes; number 3, managing expectations; number 4, running towards your failures. Now we're going to tackle these 4 strategies and see how we can address this challenging dilemma. But of course, in today's video, which is just part 1, I want to just look at maximizing the gray area. The subsequent videos that I'll share will look at the other 3 strategies that I've mentioned, but for today we'll start with the first strategy, which is to maximize the gray area. Now when we talk about maximizing the gray area, what we're saying is that you should start out looking at the 2 concepts, making money and following dreams, separately, such that one is not dependent on the other. We usually make the mistake of looking at these 2 concepts as a black and white issue, which is very, very difficult. How to make a choice between one or the other, that's a brutal choice for anyone to have to make. And what I'm telling you now is you don't have to make that choice. You have to find the place where these 2 can coexist, but you cannot do that when they're both staring you in the face at the same time. What I'm saying essentially is that you have to find the magic spot in between, that sweet spot, that place where you actually get to enjoy the benefits of both. You shouldn't have to compromise money. Money is important. I'll always tell people, we need money. Money makes life comfortable. It helps us pay our bills and take care of the people we love. Money plays an essential part in our lives, but at the same time, we must have meaning. We must make choices that add meaning to our lives. Money without meaning leads to complete unhappiness. I know many people who can testify to that. So finding that balance is what we're talking about when we say maximize on the gray area. And so when you separate the 2 choices, making money and following dreams, you start out by having a mentality of service. Separate the money issue first and ask yourself, how can I be of service? This passion, this dream that I have, this talent, how can I create a legacy and an impact with it? For me, I began by doing volunteer work. When I first started empowering, I used to channel part of my income into something called Club 2S. GIBÉBÉ began as Club 2S, an organization for young professionals, which was just my way of giving back, trying to empower others and share this message of how I managed to get into the Apprentice Africa at a young age, how I managed to get a job with a top company at a young age, my experiences going to school and working in the US. All this information I just shared because in my heart I just wanted to make a difference and help other people realize a level of achievement and success with their lives. So coming from that place of mentality of service is what eventually helped me see the financial viability in my passion and my dream. If I'd been thinking about the money initially, I would never have started this. I would have told myself, what? How do people make money doing this? Impossible. I would have given up before I started. That is why I'm saying you have to separate the 2 issues first, and maximize on that gray area. Look for the places where you can start to invest in your passion. Create time to follow your passion. Create time in your life and find some balance, and this will drive you to become better. Another thing that you realize is that if you create time to follow your passion, even if you're not making money from it right now, then you'll be doing something that you love, and that is something that will help you to do your best work, and that desire will even make you more creative and more resourceful and will help you get further faster. In fact, I dare say that this is what will give you the persistence you need to follow through with your dream. So at the end of the day, you don't just jump into this whole concept of following your dream. There has to be a plan. Maximize on the gray area. The money is important, so you cannot discount that, but away from the money, there are ways in which you can begin to fill out your passion and your dream. You can begin to explore that gray area just to give yourself a chance to see where your passion can take you. And this will actually make you more productive in the things that you do. So what are we saying? That in this first step of maximizing the gray area, find a way that you can actually have both. It's very difficult when you're just thinking about the money. So I say put the money aside first and ask yourself, in my current circumstances now, how do I start to invest and put time into my passion, my dream, and my talent? This is the big question. We have a comment box, a Facebook comments box below this video. I ask that you give me your comments, give me your feedback, share your experiences. Let's learn from one another. Let's see how we can tackle this dilemma together and gain some clarity into this issue that so many of us are struggling with, making money versus following dreams. Next time we'll be talking about the second strategy, so I look forward to sharing that with you. Keep thinking about your sweet spot and tell me, what is that gray area? What is that sweet spot for you?